Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And here I have a great article for you guys straight from T-Mobile's newsroom. I'll leave a link to it in the description so you guys can check it out. So this new expansion from T-Mobile into West Virginia has been making its rounds across the Google News feed. I've seen it on several different other platforms and local news stations. So this is becoming a pretty big deal. And this also helps T-Mobile. You know, it's free publicity and free marketing. So for those of you who saw the first video where we covered this, T-Mobile has announced $200 million plus in complete network upgrades for West Virginia. Now, why do I emphasize that and point that out? So I want to be very clear. When T-Mobile started the Un-carrier and they started making all the moves, all of the perks, all of the taxes and fees included, and that made them the more attractive carrier for millions of customers that switched to them, they at that time did not operate as large as a network as they are today. Right before this movement and before this network deployment in the state of West Virginia, T-Mobile did not have any networking across that state, or hardly any. They might have had some, but it was to a very large scale. So yes, they carved out 200 plus million over a 3-year period or a 2-year period, investing into that state, which is great, right? We're not taking that from T-Mobile. That's great. But that's already part of the capital that they were going to invest. Part of the merger plans, that's already, they didn't increase it. That was part of the original capital that they were going to invest anyway. So here's where it gets interesting as T-Mobile becomes a larger carrier in network size and may make them make moves that they previously wouldn't have made. The operations. Every time that they add a new site, every time that they expand networking into these new states, their operation costs go through the roof. Because they've never operated in those states, so they had no operations cost there. Now they have operations cost. Fiber, where they deploy it, the site itself, leasing. Now it's much more expensive for T-Mobile to operate the network. So that's how the negative moves come about. Like maybe price increase, the forced migration that we saw not too long ago. All of those moves come about when they need more money to operate the network because it's now at the bigger size that it is. And T-Mobile is trying to do this as smartly as possible. They know what they got. They know their base. They understand. They got the youngest crowd. They got the millennials. They got the most price sensitive customer, perhaps. They're big they have big share in the Hispanic markets. So they know what they got. But at the end of the day, to operate the size of network that they have today and what they may try to get to, they need the margins to be better. They need the profits to be better. If not, they will have to further cut. Operations, all of your labor, all of your call centers, all of that is part of the operations. So you might further have to cut jobs and do like forced relocations and stuff like that to keep your operations as low as possible while your network continues to increase operations. Doing a fiber increase at a site that's already existing, that increases your operations cost. Adding small cells and attaching fiber to those small cells increases your operations cost. So it's getting more for T-Mobile to carry the customer, to serve the customer, to grow the base. It's getting more expensive for them to operate. And we can make the argument that that was always going to be the case, but it's here, ladies and gentlemen. The operations is here, and you can see it now. We saw it in North Carolina, Virginia. I think there was one. Now we got West Virginia. We had Texas. They pointed out that they're expanding and growing there. So all of that is anytime, like I mentioned, that they add a new site, they expand into new territory, it's an increase to their operations. And as the operation continues to go up, the CapEx remains the same. They have not increased the CapEx. They're just carving out X amount of dollars from the CapEx to deploy this network, but the operations continues to increase, and it will continue to increase more and more and more as they add more sites, as they add more network, and as they lay brand new coverage across the United States. Their operations will continue to increase, and that's where I feel the problem comes in. That's where I feel they will need to increase pricing and really look at margins more aggressively, look at taxes and fees more aggressively. They will have to make the tough choices as they continue to increase the operations with a larger network. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let me know if you're prepared to pay more for the T-Mobile experience as they continue expanding the network. Let me know if at that point you would just continue going to a provider that's already at that size and scale in Verizon and AT&T. Let us know in the comments. If you're new to the channel, like, share, subscribe. Follow my social media outlets. This is Tyrone with Tech Life, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.